Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then hello, and if you've been here before, then welcome back. So I know this video is late. We are like a week and a half, nearly 2 weeks into January, so this is now going up. I love watching these, and I always do one of these every year on my channel as well. So if you couldn't tell by the title, we are going to be reflecting on 2020 and setting goals for 2021. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first I'm going to start off with reflecting on 2020. So 2020 was definitely a difficult year for a lot of people. It was the year of lockdown, it was the year of coronavirus, it was just the year that everyone really struggled with. Even though 2020 for me was a struggle and I struggled a lot, it was a tough year for me. I struggled a lot with my mental health. I even struggled a lot with my physical health during 2020, which was quite a scary thing. My anxiety completely shot up, and I experienced things that I never ever have experienced before at any time with suffering with anxiety. So that for me during lockdown was quite scary. 2020 was the year that I learnt a lot. So even though 2020 was awful, not fully awful, but obviously it was a tough year, it was a year that I learned a lot about not only myself, but my mind, my body, my partner, daughter. It was just the year that I really learned a lot and sort of took in all the things that I learned. I rediscovered things that I used to enjoy doing and stopped doing, and during lockdown I started to reintroduce those back into my life. It was also a year to be grateful for. I know a lot of people will talk about how hard it was and the struggles that they had, including myself. However, it was the year that I was very grateful for. Even though it was tough, there was a lot to be grateful for. A lot of good actually came out of 2020. So in regards to being grateful for last year, I was grateful to be able to spend a lot more time with both James and Summer. I was grateful to be able to learn a lot more about James, be there through his struggles and through his highs and his lows, and I'm guessing he probably learned a lot about me as well, with my highs and my lows. More lows than highs, but it was just a lot to be grateful for. It was just getting to, I guess it was appreciating the people that you have in your life and actually appreciating and being grateful for the freedom that we had. Because once freedom is taken away from you, it does start to make you think about things a little bit differently. So for me, 2020 was a year to be grateful for. As much as it was bad, there was a lot of good that came out of 2020. So once the sort of lockdown restrictions lifted, we actually managed to get away for a weekend down in Cornwall, and we picked the most amazing weather, and it was just so nice to be able to get away from our home environment where we had been stuck for the last 6 months, and just be able to have time for us, enjoy the sunshine, getting some sort of normality back, not fully, but having sort of that freedom back. And also another absolutely amazing thing that came out of 2020 was the announcement of my pregnancy. Again, obviously we didn't plan for it to happen so soon, but obviously at the end of the year we announced our pregnancy, and that is another thing that I'm grateful for 2020, is the new life that I am bringing into this world this year. And obviously 2020 was the year that that happened for us, and we are able to start our journey to meeting our little girl. So if we're rounding up the reflection of 2020, it had its highs and it had its lows. There was lots to dislike about it, and there was lots to be grateful and thankful for. So like every year, I like to set my goals at the beginning of every year so that I can look back on them and see which ones I have achieved and which ones I haven't, and which ones I could work on in the future. But I definitely like to write them down, and I definitely absolutely love to look back on them. So we're going to start off with my goals for 2021. I do have a lot of new goals for 2021, and there is quite a few old ones that are on this list as well, which I didn't get to achieve last year, which for obvious reasons was because of coronavirus. So they are now put onto this list in the hopes that maybe this year it is a goal that I will be able to achieve. So the first goal that is on my list is to move. This was on my list last year, and obviously due to coronavirus and other things sort of stepping in the way, we were unable to do so. So this is on my list for this year. So this is on my list of goals this year. This is one that I would really like to achieve this year. So obviously I live in a 2-bed flat, and obviously I am currently pregnant, so we would like to move somewhere slightly bigger, and we would like a house. I didn't actually plan on staying in this flat for very long. I thought I'd only be here a year. I have been here just over 2 years now, and obviously I've sort of outgrown this place now. I moved in here by myself. I have sort of outgrown this place now. So obviously James moved in, we are now expecting, so for us to be able to move into a house that will now be big enough for the 4 of us rather than 3 of us, and just be able to have our own driveway and our own garden would be absolutely amazing. So my first goal for 2021 is to be able to move into a house and make it a home. Goal number 2, I definitely think that I have done this last year, but it's something I still need to work on. And my second goal is to work on my anxiety. So even though I tried to focus on my mental health and my anxiety back last year, obviously we are now in another lockdown, which is causing me more anxiety. Obviously my circumstances are different. I am pregnant. I have anxiety towards my pregnancy, and I feel like it's just something I really need to work hard on this year. It's not something that's obviously just going to completely go away, but being able to control it a bit better and understand why I have the thoughts that I do, what triggers it. I know I already pick up on a lot of things that trigger it, but it's working on controlling them more than anything, because once I am set in stone, that is it. I can't control it, I can't stop it, I kind of just have to let it happen. And for me, that would be a big goal if I could work on my anxiety and maybe, obviously, like I said, not completely get rid of it, but be able to control it and maybe not have as many anxiety attacks or things like that. So that is definitely something that I would like to work on this year. Number 3 is pretty much something that's on most people's lists for their goals every year, and it would be on my list too. However, it's still on my list, but it's slightly different. So this year on my list I've put my weight. So back last year I had gone on to Slimming World and I had lost quite a bit of weight, and then lockdown happened and I put a bit on, and then I went back and then lost it. So my weight journey has definitely been up and down. However, with being pregnant, my goals with my weight are slightly different. So it's not a case of necessarily losing weight. I mean, if I lose weight during pregnancy, that's okay. However, for me, my goal for this year, up until I pretty much go into labour, even till sort of the end of the year, it follows on after labour as well, and after the delivery of baby, but I would like to either maintain my weight or gain a healthy weight during my pregnancy. Obviously weight gain in pregnancy is pretty much the inevitable, but I would like to obviously maintain a healthy weight during my pregnancy, and then obviously after baby is here, then I would obviously like to lose the weight that I may have put on, or obviously lose some. That would be great. My weight journey has definitely been up and down, and I put a lot of weight on. Obviously during my first pregnancy I was about 7 stone, and I was about a size 6 to 8, and after I had my first I actually went up to a size 16, which is a size that I have never ever been in my life. I managed to drop a lot of weight, and I kept it off for a good few years, and I was at a weight that I was happy. I think I dropped down to about 11 stone, which for me is a weight that I was happy with. I looked healthy, felt healthy, I felt great in myself. And then I met James and put a bit of that weight back on, which, you know, when you are comfortable in a relationship, that tends to happen. And then obviously, like I said, I done my Slimming World, lost a bit more weight. and then I got pregnant. So my goal for this year would be to maintain a healthy weight through pregnancy and then to be able to maintain it after, or obviously lose a bit of weight after. So that is sort of my weight goals for 2021. Number 4, again, I think was on my list for last year, and that is to save money. And this is for obvious reasons. We are expecting a baby. Being able to save, obviously being able to get everything that she needs before she's here, but just having money saved aside is just nice to be able then to go off and do nice things when we're able to. Obviously it puts us in the direction, again, if we save, for being able to move, and then obviously when we move, being able to buy nice furniture and all things like that. So saving is definitely up there on my list for this year, just so that I can better my lifestyle. So a number of ways that we are discussing on being able to save money is either putting a lump sum away each month, or like we did a few years ago, we had a jar on the side and every day we would put in £1 or £2 or any silvers. We would not put any coppers like 1p's or 2p's. It would all be silvers, no matter how big or how small the change that we had. Then we would put that into the pot, and then at the end of whatever the period of time that we need it, we'd obviously open that pot, count it, and then use that for whatever we needed. And it actually worked really, really well for us, because I know this year might be a little bit different because obviously we're not using cash as much and it's all on card. Then that's going to be a slightly different story. But it did work really, really well for us a couple of years ago. So that is a good way of saving money. I also like to look back on things that we don't really need or things that we waste money on. So like I was saying, I would look back and see how much money we spend on takeaways. I'd look back on and see what sort of applications that we pay extra for each month, like our Apple Music or Netflix or Disney Plus or PlayStation, all those kind of things, like the sort of things that we don't really use or need, then we cancel them, and then again we are saving money there. So that's another way that I like to look at finances and see ways and in which we can obviously save money. Number 5, so my 5th goal for this year is to achieve every goal that I have set in regards to YouTube. So my goals for YouTube is obviously being consistent, creating good content, and gaining subscribers. I have been on YouTube for, I think it's about 6 years, and I have been on and off. I started it, I didn't really have the support, I was not confident. People didn't get it, so I posted a few videos and then I stopped for a few years, and then I started again, and then I stopped again, and then I think at the beginning of 2019, maybe end of 2018, I really started getting back into the swing of it, and where I was being consistent and where I was uploading content, I started to see the results in subscribers, views and watch time, which was amazing. And then because my circumstances changed, I stopped for a little bit and then obviously came back to it again. So it has been very on and off, but my goal for this year is to stay consistent, stay uploading, and then I'll be able to see the benefits from it. I'm going to set myself a goal that's quite high for the end of this year. By the end of this year, I really, really would like to reach 1,000 subscribers. I know I don't have many right now. I know if I stay consistent, create good content, then the hard work will eventually pay off. And this is something that I love doing. It's not something that I feel like, oh, I'm just going to do just because if you get a lot of subscribers, you're going to get paid for it. That's just not my logic. I love doing it and documenting my life. I always have done. It's something I used to do and pretend to do when I was a lot younger. So actually being able to do it now is a hobby for me. It's not something I feel like I have to do. So yeah, my big goal for obviously YouTube is to eventually hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So by the halfway mark, I would like to hit 500. So around about May time, that's where I want to be. I want to be hitting half my target, and then by the end of the year hitting my full target. That would be absolutely amazing. That would just be incredible. And then lastly, my last goal for 2020, which isn't really a goal, but it definitely isn't, it will be an achievement, and that is to bring our baby girl into this world safely. That is my biggest goal and will be my biggest achievement by halfway through the year, and that is really just to make sure that I bring this little one into the world safely, that she's healthy, and that she fits and settles into our family just right. I mean, our complete family dynamic is going to change, but that is definitely going to probably be my biggest achievement this year, and I am so super excited for her to be here. Yeah, it's just going to be an absolutely incredible achievement to do, and it always is. No matter how many children you have or how many children you bring into the world, it is always an achievement for yourself and your family and everyone else around you, just to bring that little bundle of joy into the world safely. So that is all my goals for 2021, and that is me reflecting on 2020. I really do hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to smash the thumbs up, and also please don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. It is completely free and takes 30 seconds, if that. So other than that, I am going to leave this here, and I will see you in a brand new video very soon. Bye.